The evening air was thick with humidity as I made my way to Walmart, the neon sign buzzing softly against the twilight sky. The parking lot was unusually full, yet there was an odd stillness, as if the world held its breath. I shrugged off the unease and entered the store, the automatic doors sliding shut behind me with a hushed whoosh. As I navigated the aisles, the normal clatter and chatter seemed muffled. The shelves loomed high, casting elongated shadows that seemed to writhe in the corners of my vision. I grabbed a basket and headed towards the produce section. I was in the middle of picking out some apples when I felt a presence behind me. I turned and saw a man standing there, staring at me intently. His clothes were neat, almost too neat, and his eyes bore into mine with a piercing gaze. "Can I help you?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He didn't respond, just continued to stare. I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. Deciding to ignore him, I moved to the next aisle, but he followed, his footsteps eerily silent. Was he watching me? Why wouldn't he speak? I quickened my pace, weaving through aisles. But no matter where I went, he was always a step behind. Panic started to creep in. What did he want from me? I turned a corner sharply, hoping to lose him, but collided with a display of canned goods. They clattered to the floor, echoing loudly in the unnaturally quiet store. A few shoppers turned to look, their faces blank and expressionless. I mumbled an apology and quickly moved on, my heart racing. I needed to get out of here. I made my way to the back of the store, hoping to find a quiet corner to collect myself. I found myself in the toy aisle, surrounded by rows of dolls with vacant, glassy eyes. Suddenly, one of the dolls fell off the shelf and landed at my feet. I picked it up, noticing a small folded piece of paper tucked into its dress. Curiosity piqued, I unfolded the note. It read, "Leave now. They're watching." My heart skipped a beat. Who was watching? And why did they want me to leave? I glanced around nervously, the man from earlier nowhere in sight. Maybe this was some kind of prank. But something in the air told me otherwise. I decided it was time to go. Abandoning my basket, I made a beeline for the exit. As I passed the electronics section, the TVs all flickered on simultaneously, displaying static. The static slowly morphed into an image of my own face, eyes wide with fear. "What the?" I whispered, my voice barely audible. Suddenly, the screen changed to a message. "Don't look back." A surge of terror propelled me forward. I burst through the doors and into the parking lot, the oppressive stillness replaced by the distant hum of traffic. I ran to my car, fumbling with the keys. As I started the engine, I made the mistake of glancing back at the store. There, standing just outside the doors, was the man. But he wasn't alone. A crowd of people stood with him, all staring at me with the same unnerving intensity. Their faces were pale, their eyes hollow. And then, as one, they smiled. I tore my gaze away and floored the accelerator, the tires screeching as I sped out of the lot. My hands gripped the wheel tightly, my mind racing. What had just happened? Who were those people? And what did they want with me? As I drove away, the Walmart sign disappeared into the distance, but the questions lingered. Was it a warning? A threat? One thing was certain. I wouldn't be returning to that store anytime soon. Weeks passed, but I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Every time I passed by a reflective surface, I half expected to see those hollow eyes staring back at me. I started to avoid mirrors, convinced that something had followed me home that night. One evening, as I sat in my living room, the TV suddenly flickered on by itself. Static filled the screen, then slowly my own terrified face appeared. A chill swept through me as a familiar message scrolled across the screen. "Don't look back." I didn't sleep that night, and I never shopped at Walmart again.